All right, it's now 10:30 on this Monday evening. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott along with Brianna Duncan. We continue to watch a severe weather threat. We now have a tornado warning just being posted for Jefferson County in central Alabama. Storm we've been watching very carefully now. The National Weather Service going ahead and issuing a tornado warning for this particular storm. So let's take you into this thing. Again, we're looking at the Birmingham radar perspective. This is going to be moving towards the Gardendale and Fultondale area. In fact, we got Brianna Duncan, who is in the Weather Center with us as well. And Brianna, what is the warning time on this storm?
Richard, it is radar indicated tornado warning for Jefferson County till 11 p.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Brookside near Fultondale, moving east at 50 miles per hour, and there's some tightening up near Forestdale.
Yeah, there it is right there, Brianna. And again, this is going to be moving right towards the Fultondale area. So if you are in Forestdale, we need you in a safe place now. This is in northern Jefferson County, just north of downtown Birmingham. So again, there's downtown Birmingham, there's Gardendale, there's Fultondale. This potential tornado is going to be tracking off towards the east very quickly at about 50 miles an hour or so. So this thing is moving pretty fast off towards the east, northeast. And this thing, we've been watching it for a while. This came across North Tuscaloosa County, came through the Samantha area earlier this evening, and it had some rotation with this, but the National Weather Service now deciding to trigger that tornado warning based off this thing's really tightened up close to the Forestdale area. Again, there's Fultondale. That's Interstate 65 that runs from downtown Birmingham to Kimberly and Morris. So again, if you're in Fultondale or Tarrant and Robinwood, we need you in a safe place now, as there's the possibility this thing could produce a tornado. Again, this is until 11 o'clock, so we've got 25 minutes left in this tornado warning, but it's going to be tracking east just like that across Jefferson County. Real quick, I do want to mention we're also on Facebook Live, so if you can't watch us on television, if you lose power, you can also watch us online on Facebook Live. Search for the WVUA 23 Facebook page, and we'll be on there to source that weather information for you as we continue to deal with this risk of severe weather. And again, this potential tornado that could be developing here. Let me show you the warning polygon here. And I'll tell you what, while I do that, I'm going to zoom out just a touch so you can see who all is in this actual polygon itself. So this is going to be northern Jefferson County. You see the swath there, right there. So we got Trustville, we got Clay, Sun Valley. That's Highway 75 there. Okay, this is going to cross Highway 79 and 75. It's going to cross Interstate 65 corridor, also Highway 31. Now this is south of Kimberly and Morris, but again, you see Jefferson County, this tiny tornado warning polygon. That's where we are talking about. And I tell you what, Brianna, is there any other reports coming from this storm or that other storm we're watching back in Pickens County?
Not quite yet. The only thing updated is that there's a storm spotter who has reported power flashes, not in a specific area, but other than that, still that tornado warning until 11 p.m.
And now, is that for the Jefferson County one, or were they able to say that?
Jefferson County, yes.
Okay, so somebody's seen power flashes with this. So let's go back into the storm, and I tell you what, I'm going to put on the hazard right here, and let's see what our computer is. We got, TVS is picking up on this thing just north of the Forestdale area. So our computer algorithm picking up a TVS, which is a tornado vortex signature. And let's look at the information on this and just see what our computer is suggesting in terms of the potential tornado. Yeah, tornado impact is a 9.1. This thing ramped up quick. Anytime you see this thing above about a 5, it gets serious. And this thing's ramped up to a 9. And it can go above 10, but it's very rare. But again, we're seeing a tornado impact of a 9.1. That is significant. That is a possibility of a tornado that could be down just north of downtown Birmingham. Now, if you are on Red Mountain Point South, you're okay. This is going to be north of you. Again, there's downtown right there. Just north of you is where we're talking about, by about 5 or 6 miles. And this is going to be crossing Interstate 65 in just a matter of moments. Let's put on the velocity display and look at this thing together. Very, very tight couplets developed here. Again, there's Upper Coleburg there. There's Fultondale. This thing is going to cross I-65 basically at Fultondale. So again, if you're in Jefferson County and Fultondale or Tarrant, we need you in a safe place now. Again, a site-built structure, lowest part of your home. If you're in a high-rise apartment or building, you need to get down on that bottom floor, lowest floor of your home or building you're in, because this is a dangerous situation for the possibility of a tornado down with that. And I tell you what, let's look at the information that's coming into our, in terms of this couplet here. Let's just look at this live on TV. We're looking at 77-mile-an-hour winds or so based off our computer algorithm. In terms of the velocity couplet. So again, there's no doubt there's some rotation there. There's that indication there could be a tornado down with this storm. All right, so look at the couplet now. This thing is likely producing a tornado right now. Let's look at the new information. 155-mile-an-hour gate-to-gate shear. So this is an extremely dangerous situation for Jefferson County. If you are in Fultondale, get in a safe place now. Again, I can't stress the urgency of this. The radar site's just south of Birmingham. We're sampling wind not far off the ground. So we're looking at 155-mile-an-hour gate-to-gate shear. That is an intense tornado. If that is down on the ground, that is an intense tornado. So if you're in Fultondale on I-65, get in a safe place now. If you are in Terrence, safe place now. If you are in Center Point or Graysville or Clay, safe place now. And again, that's the lowest floor of your home. As many walls between you and the outside as possible. And again, we've got Brianna, Duncan in the Weather Center. Brianna, if you see any reports coming out of this, please pass those along. And so far, I don't see any sign of debris yet, but I would be willing to bet we're going to get a correlation coefficient dropout in just a moment. The next scan, based off a couplet like that has got to be a tornado down that's coming across Jefferson County. So again, there's I-65, there's Fultondale, and based off of how heavily populated this part of the state is, this part of Jefferson County, I would say most likely we're going to find out something soon if there's a tornado down. But based off that couplet, that is a very intense velocity signature. So again, I cannot stress the urgency of this, a dangerous situation for Jefferson County. There's I-65 in Fultondale, and again, Robin Wood, you're going to be under the gun. Here's a new update, a very tight couplet right there. About to cross Interstate 65, we could have a damaging tornado down. Again, this is not a confirmed tornado yet. If Brianna, if you see any information from the Weather Service on if this is a confirmed one, let us know. But so far, we do not have that. But I can tell you this, based off this couplet here, this thing is tight. Very, very tight signature on the radar, on our velocity product. Let me move this over just a bit so you can see better perspective who's down the road from this thing. So again, there's Woodcrest, Lynn Acres. That's Highway 75 that joins Highway 11 down there. Highway 11 runs to the northeast towards Grayson Valley. All right, so if you are in Center Point on Highway 75, you need to be in a safe place. Again, if you're in a high-rise building or if you're in an apartment, a multi-level home, you need to get down to that bottom floor, get in an interior closet. All right, find somewhere where you can protect yourself from the flying debris. If you got a bike helmet, put that on your head. Hard sole shoes, we tell people this all the time. Put a pillow, put blankets over you in that safe place as this tornado passes through because this is a dangerous situation. Let's look at the velocity couplet again on this and see. We got a brand new update on our velocity, and let's see what we got. In terms of the wind speed in this thing, or the potential wind speed, still 153 knots. So that's 2 miles per hour. That's 2 scans where we've had a winds estimated in terms of gate-to-gate shear over 150 miles per hour. All right, got a brand new update. Let's check it out. This is from our velocity. All right, 152-mile-an-hour gate-to-gate shear. That's 3 scans in a row. We've had winds over 150-mile-an-hour gate-to-gate shear. Now, is that on the ground? We don't know yet. It's a good chance that we have something down. Go ahead, Brianna.
Richard, I have a report. Continues a tornado warning with this considerable hail, for 11 p.m. and a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado located over Fultondale, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Debris northeast of Fultondale. Confirmed tornado via debris on radar. Headed towards Center Point. Strong velocity signature. That is the most recent updates that we have now. So a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Fultondale, moving east 45 miles an hour.
All right, so again, if you are in northern Jefferson County and that may be a tornado emergency. I think we got a brand new update, most likely based off of the wording on that. So we got a dangerous situation, a violent tornado potential down on the north side, really over Fultondale right now. So again, if you were in central and northern Jefferson County on I-65 north of downtown Birmingham, I cannot stress the urgency of this. This is as serious as it gets. We got a dangerous, damaging tornado down heading right for Robinwood and Center Point coming out of Fultondale right now. So let's look at the debris signature, see if we can see it. I can't see this off the Birmingham radar yet, but we know it's one down. We know this, here it is right there. There's your tornado right there on Highway 31, your tornado right there. We're seeing the debris signature pop up on our correlation coefficient. And what this is basically your, the different size objects that are being lofted into the atmosphere that are being picked up by this particular tornado. Let me zoom into this thing. All right, there's your tornado. That's Highway 31. There's Fultondale. We got a damaging tornado moving right across this part of Jefferson County. All right, so this thing is as serious as it gets. In terms of a tornado potential, it's there. We know it's there. We're measuring winds close to the ground over 150 miles per hour. That is an incredibly dangerous situation in terms of a possible tornado. In fact, this is a confirmed tornado. This isn't even a possible tornado. We see it right there, and this thing is moving off towards the east very quickly. So North Pine Hill Road, if you're on North Pine Hill Road, that road right there, the tornado is about to cross you right now. All right, so let's keep going off towards the east. We got Highway 79 right there off the east side of your screen there. You see Highway 79. It's going to be crossing 79 in just a matter of a few minutes. So this thing is tracking east just like that. So if you're in Newcastle, if you're on Highway 79, look at the debris. Goodness, look at the debris signature on this thing now. This thing is doing damage to homes, to buildings right now. We've got a dangerous situation with a tornado on the ground. This thing is a large and dangerous situation. Again, I cannot stress urgency. We are in Jefferson County. This is north of downtown Birmingham. This is cross Highway 31 and Interstate 65 back here. Now it's moving generally towards Highway 79 very quickly. Let me zoom out just a bit. We need to do a track on this thing and show you who's going to be in this path of this very dangerous tornado that's confirmed on the ground. There's downtown Birmingham for reference. There's a tornado that's passed through Fultondale. It has crossed Interstate 65. It's crossed Highway 31. And continues to move off towards east. Center Point, you are in the direct path of this dangerous tornado. Do something now. Again, I cannot stress the urgency of this thing. This is as serious as it gets. Look at the couplet on this thing. This is one of the most impressive couplets we've seen in a long time. This is a couplet you see with a violent tornado that is likely down. I'm not trying to frighten you. I'm just trying to warn you. This is as serious of a situation as it gets, of a tornado that is down in Jefferson County approaching Center Point now. Trussville and Clay, I need you in a safe place now before this thing comes over your area. And again, we've got a Brianna Duncan who's in the Weather Center as well. And Brianna, any reports you got pass along, please?
So far, no more reports other than this is very extremely dangerous, very large, and that it is headed towards Center Point. The strong velocity signature really hitting hard, and they've extended tornado watches for most of all of our counties.
All right, we'll get on that in just a moment. Again, they're going to extend that tornado watch, and let's see. See if I can get that new couplet there. This thing is incredibly powerful couplet. This is a tornado that's likely large and violent. We don't rate tornadoes before we get the damage surveys back. Tomorrow, the National Weather Service will have those damage surveys, and they will let us know how strong this tornado was, and we'll get that to you. But again, we're still looking at 133 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear with this very dangerous, likely violent tornado that's on the ground and moving across Jefferson County. It's about to cross Highway 79 right now. Let me clear that off the screen. And again, there's Center Point. This violent tornado is coming upon Center Point as we speak. So you got to do something.
We have another tornado warning. Tornado warning for St. Clair until 11:30. Tornado producing storm located over Center Point or near Gardendale, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So that's for St. Clair. So
they went ahead and put St. Clair on that. Let me zoom out just a bit and show you that. Again, you're looking at the velocity, you're looking at the wind inside this violent tornado that's crossing Jefferson County. And it looks like this tornado may be about to clear off. Now, we can't guarantee that. Let's look at the reflectivity from Birmingham. and just see what the structure of this thing looks like. Okay, there's a tornado that's involved in this this supercell thunderstorm. There's Clay. So yes, we got St. Clair County. There's Springville. You're under the tornado warning as well. And this thing continues to move off towards the northeast. Let's look at, I'll tell you what, just for a moment, we got a violent tornado down in Jefferson County. We know that. It's coming up on Center Point and Clay now. Do something about it. Go somewhere now in a site-built structure. If you are in a mobile home, get out of that now. Find a site-built structure or storm shelter. Lowest floor, if you're in a high-rise building or apartment or a multi-level home, lowest floor now. This is as serious a situation as it gets. And again, just for a moment, let me show everybody out there. I know there's a lot of people watching for other parts of Alabama. We're on Facebook Live, too, on the WVUA 23 Facebook page. We got other thunderstorms out there. These are not severe at the moment, but we got other storms out there. All right, let's go back into Jefferson County. Again, Tuscaloosa, south, you're okay. We've got strong storms in Pickens County over Reform near Gordo and Palmetto now. Those are not classified as severe. Our dangerous thunderstorm is currently over Center Point right now. Let me zoom back into this, and I'll show you what we're talking about. And again, Brianna mentioned they're going to extend the tornado watch for portions of central Alabama as this continues to evolve. All right, so let's go back into this storm. It is past I-65. It's past Highway 31. It's past the Fultondale area now. It's right over Sun Valley and Center Point. That's where your tornado is now. So let's put back on the correlation coefficient. Let's look at the debris signature in this thing so we can see this together. And again, there's your tornado. It should be right about here now, so it's coming up on Center Point. Again, we still got a tremendous amount of debris being lofted in the air. Our radar beam is detecting all of this. It's picking up on different size objects in the air. We know it's a tornado down that's crossing Highway 79, coming up on Center Point as we speak. And I tell you what, let's put on the warning. And let's do a path on this thing because we want to show everybody out there. Let me zoom out just a little bit because we need to show other cities in the path of this. It's going to be just down the road, and very long tornado warning Polygon based off the seriousness of this storm. And Brianna, that tornado warning was until 11:30, right, for St. Clair?
For St. Clair, 11:30, yes, and they just extended the tornado warning for Jefferson County.
Okay.
Until 11:15, and it's located over Pinson right now near Gardendale, moving that northeast at 45 miles per hour, confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado.
All right, so moving northeast to 45 miles per hour. Let's do a track northeast just like that and pull that out to about 45, and let's see what the cities in the path of this. These are times of arrival, so understand. You see this time on the screen, you got to do something 10, 15 minutes before it gets to you. Don't wait until this time is up. Understand this is an urgent situation. We've got a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground. It doesn't get more serious than this. So if you are in these cities, if you are in these areas, go somewhere now. Again, right now, Center Point, Grayson Valley at 10:59, 11:04, Clay, Argo at 11:09. All right, you got Springville at 11:17, Asheville at 11:36, and then the Steele community, if this tornado continues, that is at 11:45. So again, these are just some of the arrival times of some of the cities this tornado, this confirmed large dangerous tornado is, and it's tracking northeast just like that. So again, this is in Jefferson County. It's going to move into northern St. Clair County. I can tell you now, if you're in Leeds or Pell City, if you're on the Interstate 20 corridor, this will not impact you. This is north of Interstate 20. Again, north of I-20, not south of there, north of I-20. If you are from Leeds, Pell City, east, you're okay from this tornado-producing storm. All right, so let's go back over. Let me clear this data off. And
let's have an update on that tornado warning for Jefferson County. They moved it back to 11 p.m.
Okay.
And the tornado located over Chalkville or near Trussville, and now speeding up the movement to 50 miles per hour, moving east.
So moving, that's east or northeast? Is that east?
Moving east, yes.
Okay, moving east at about 50 miles per hour. So let's zoom back into this thing. And I'll say this, Brianna, the couplet is not as impressive as it was just a moment ago. Let me pull this back on, and let me say this. Let me warn you, okay? The couplet is not as impressive as it was just a few minutes ago, but please understand, this thing is serious. This thing could easily still be producing a tornado. This thing was violent when it came across I-65. We saw that couplet. We were measuring winds over 150 miles an hour, gate-to-gate shear of a tornado down, and we saw the debris signature. The couplet is not as impressive as it was just a minute ago, but please understand, you still got to be in a safe place. This is an urgent situation here. There could still easily be a tornado down on top of Center Point now, between Pinson and Center Point. There's Berkeley Hills right there. This could be just north of Berkeley Hills, but it's going to be close call. But if you are in Clay or Argo or Springville, you need to be in a safe place. Again, lowest floor, out of a mobile home, site-built structure. Dangerous confirmed tornado that's likely still down with this storm. Again, if you were just now joining us, we're coming up on 11 o'clock. It's now 10:53. I'm Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Brianna, Duncan in the Weather Center with us. We continue to watch this, a very dangerous tornadic thunderstorm that's developed very quickly in Jefferson County. It has crossed I-65 close to Fultondale. We know it touched down. We saw the debris signature, and this thing continues now very close to Pinson. That's Highway 75 right there, and we hope this thing has lifted. It is directly on top of Center Point as we speak. And let's look at the debris signature. Let's look at this together. All right, still there. Debris is being picked up on our computer. This is called dual pole. Radar's changed a lot over the years. We can now see debris inside of a tornado, and there it is crossing Highway 75 right now on the north side of Center Point. So let's tell you what, let's zoom you into that thing and show you where it is. All right, so there's Center Point. You see Berkeley Hills at the bottom of your screen there. Here's your tornado. All right, there's Woodare Estates there. There's Grayson Valley, very populated area being impacted by a tornado as we speak, and we still have the correlation coefficient, the dropout, the debris signature. Even if the tornado is not still down, understand that is debris in the air that our radar's picking up. This is falling debris. All right. There's debris falling out of the air here. Even if there's not a tornado still down, understand there's a hazard of falling objects. There could be 2x4s, there could be tree branches, anything being picked up by this tornado could be falling right here in this area on the north side of Center Point, right in downtown Center Point, up Highway 75, just below Pinson. Again, this thing is basically shooting the gap between the center part of Center Point and Pinson. Again, it doesn't matter. Anybody in here, you got to be in a safe place now. A very dangerous tornadic situation with this storm. And I tell you what, let's put on the hazard. I just want to see that. And it looks like we may have lost our TVS, but I'll tell you this is serious. There's Grayson Valley right there. Let's look at the velocity couplet in this thing and just see if this thing is still spinning like it was just a moment ago. And there's still that rotation. It's still there. I think the tornado could still be down on Highway 75, crossing that, coming up on Grayson Valley. Very strong. So again, we're now getting confirmation of what we knew has happened. Tornado has been down, has touched down, has done significant damage so far. And I'll tell you what, Brianna, let's take this screen out. And I want to show everybody out there just for a moment, just so we can kind of reset things. We're right at 11 o'clock now, and let me just show everybody across central Alabama. We'll take on the Birmingham radar here and just do a quick recap, because I know other people are watching in other parts of central Alabama. They want to know what's going on with this. And again, we got this rogue supercell thunderstorm that just spun up like crazy in Jefferson County. We were watching this thing. It came across Tuscaloosa County, and when it moved into the Fultondale area, this thing really began to spin a lot. I mean, we had winds possibly over 150 miles an hour. At least our computer was pinpointing winds in terms of the velocity over 150 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. And if that was down to the ground level, that's a strong tornado. National Weather Service, they issued that special tornado warning for the confirmation of a large and extremely dangerous tornado down, and we don't see that often. And we don't say this stuff to scare you. Understand, we're trying to help you. We're trying to get that information to you, this very urgent situation of a tornado down. So again, if you're in Tuscaloosa, if you're in downtown Birmingham and points south, right now you're okay. But again, we had that tornado that could still be down that's over center point now in Jefferson County. Let me show you the storm in West Alabama. Let's talk about this for a moment, coming through Pickens County. This one has a little kink to it, Brianna, that's just east of Reform now, coming up on Samantha. And again, this is northeast of the city of northwest of the city of Tuscaloosa, northwest of Coker. That's Highway 82 that runs out of Tuscaloosa. Let's look at that. There is no warning. I want to mention that. There's no warning for this, but let's keep an eye on that little kink in the line there. You know, the Jefferson County tornado started like that. So let's just keep a close eye on that kink in the line there. That's coming up on Nicola and Samantha. There's no tornado warning for that right now, but again, let's just watch it carefully in case there's any sign of rotation and this thing were to try to develop a tornado. All right, so again, for Tuscaloosa, no problems in the moment. Let's, hang on, there's a new update. All right, not seeing much there, maybe some weak rotation on Highway 59 north, 159 north of Gordo there. All right, so let's go to the east, and let's look at this thing together. All right. There's still a couplet there. There still could potentially be a tornado there. That's over Clay as we speak.
Yes, Richard. The tornado warning was extended back again to 11:15. A confirmed tornado was located over Clay near Trussville, and that is moving east 40 miles per hour. So it was confirmed over Clay. Okay,
so yeah, the National Weather Service going ahead and confirming a tornado likely still down over Clay in northeast Jefferson County. So this is the St. Clair County line right here. That's Blount County where Pine Mountain is. You see Holly Springs there. There's Locust Fork up there. And here is Odenville. So again, if you are in Odenville or Springville, you need to be in a safe place. Again, this is a dangerous situation of a tornado that could still be down. The National Weather Service still suggesting this tornado could be down. And let's look at the, I tell you what, let's look at the debris signature on this thing and just kind of watch this together. And I will say this, Brianna, we have lost the debris signature. We lost that correlation coefficient dropout. So let's hope this thing has lifted. But understand, let's keep this thing serious. But again, we have lost the dropout in terms of the debris. I don't see it there. There's still a couplet. There's no doubt there's still a couplet. Let's go back over to velocity. And there it is. There's our couplet. All right, it's coming up on Clay in Springville. If you're in Margaret, you need to be in a safe place there. This thing may be trying to wrap back up here just north of Trussville, okay? That's Interstate 59. This is going to cross Highway 11 in Interstate 59 northeast of Birmingham, just northeast of Trussville in a matter of about 5 to 10 minutes or so from now. So this thing's going to cross Interstate 59 shortly. There's Odenville. That's Highway 411 that runs up through Odenville. It goes up to Asheville in St. Clair County. And your potential tornado is going to be right there over Clay. So let's do a track on this thing. And I want to put on the warning and show you this. And I tell you what, before we do that, let's look at our hazard. And again, still showing that indication of a TVS. We got the TVS trigger back on there. So let's look at the warning. Let's do a path on this thing. All right, there it is there. Let me pan up the screen so you can see this. So this is going to be just about totally into St. Clair County. This is coming out of Jefferson County there. There's St. Clair County. There's Asheville. If it continues, there's still up there on Interstate 59, Highway 11. But again, you got Goodwin's Mill right there on Highway 11. That's Highway 23. 231 runs down to Wattsville. There's Odenville down there. Technically, the warning is just north of Odenville. But again, if you're in Odenville, it's going to be a close call. But Springville certainly needs you to be in a safe place now. And I tell you what, let's do a path on this thing. And I'm going to have to zoom out just a bit so I can show you the path, because this is, Brianna, this is 40 miles an hour, right?
Yes, the one for Jefferson County moving east at 40 miles per hour, as well as St. Clair moving 40 miles.
So yeah, we got 40 miles an hour with this storm here that's on top of Clay now. Let's move generally east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Here we go. All right, so here are the arrival times. This is what time is going to be in your area if you live in these communities. These are the times of arrival. Please know that don't wait until 11:15 at Springville. You need to be in a safe place now. At least give yourself 15 minutes of lead time before you go to a safe place. Don't wait. Don't let this thing come upon you and then you're out of time. These things can come up quick. A tornado can move fast. This was moving 40 miles an hour off to the northeast. So again, the Aries community, this is at 11:06, Springville 11:15, St. Clair Springs, that is 11:19, Goodwin's Mill 11:24, Asheville 11:34, Gilbert 11:40. Steele, if it continues, by the way, Steele is technically not in the tornado warning polygon, but if this thing continues, this is going to impact you. Coming up at 11:44, 11:45, Rainbow City at almost midnight. So again, if this continues, we got Rainbow City, Turkeytown, eventually center over in Cherokee County. So again, these are the arrival times. This is what time it's going to be in your area. Let me clear this off the screen. I'll do a zoom in this thing and you can see where that polygon is. Again, this is for St. Clair County. That's Blount County up here at Locust Fork. You got Hayden back here, Smoke Rise. All right, this is going to be just south of there, south of Holly Springs. There's the interstate. Basically, this thing's going to be following Interstate 59 rather, once it moves into St. Clair County. It's going to be crossing Interstate 59 and basically following the interstate through St. Clair Springs and then Asheville. Asheville sits right there. Highway 231 runs up to Asheville. Let's put on the velocity and let's look at this together. And again, the couplet was incredibly tight just a few moments ago, about 20 minutes ago. In fact, this thing had, according to our radar, the velocity signature was over 150 miles an hour for at least 10 minutes. This thing had a damaging tornado down. It's done serious damage back to the west over Interstate 65. And there's Argo there, so we still have evidence of rotation. And that's right over Argo now. There's Clay, Argo. This is going to be basically following the Interstate 59 corridor. There's St. Clair Springs, Springville right there. Again, if you're in Odenville, for the least course of regret, I'd go to a safe place now. Mobile home, out of that. If you're in a car, get out of a car. If you're in a site-built structure, we want you on that lowest floor. All right, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get away from windows. Understand it doesn't take much to shatter a window. You got debris and glass flying at you. So do something about it. If you are in Argo, I'd even say Odenville. I know technically the warning is north of you, but if you're in Odenville, I'd go to a safe place, especially St. Clair Springs. So again, that's a look at our velocity product on that. And again, Brianna, we're carefully watching this situation. Anything new from the National Weather Service?
Not anything new, particularly just the tornado warnings, but they are pointing out Pickens County having some damaging straight line winds as well as some hail. But as for St. Clair County and Jefferson County, no new updates available as of right now.
Okay, so they actually issued a severe thunderstorm warning, looks like, for Pickens County. And go ahead, Brianna.
Yes, it looks like local storm report by the National Weather Service in Fultondale reports tornado at 10:43. Several reports of down power lines, structural damage throughout Fultondale.
All right, so we're getting a lot of damage around the Fultondale area. We know a tornado had touched down there. And I will say this, the structure of this storm is not as impressive as it was just a little bit earlier. This thing can be cyclical in nature. It can pulse up, pulse back down. So please, if you're in the tornado warning, stay in that safe place. This is still a very dangerous situation for a possible tornado that could be down. Let's go into Pickens County. All right, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens County, and this is for the potential for damaging straight line winds. You can see that little Boeing segment. This is coming across Aliceville and Carrollton the next 5 to 10 minutes. The potential for damaging straight line winds there. And also the possibility of some hail, and you see that severe thunderstorm warning polygon. That does include Carrollton, Aliceville, even Gordo is in that severe thunderstorm warning polygon. So let's look at the velocity with this and just kind of see this, how this whole storm looks in terms of the straight line wind potential. And fortunately, Brianna, I don't see any sign of rotation down here in Pickens County. So between Pickensville and Aliceville, I don't see any sign of rotation, which is great. Hopefully that trend will continue. But again, we have that possibility of damaging straight line winds with this storm. But we need to watch it. All right, if you're in Pickens County, let's watch it carefully. So let's go back to the northeast just a bit. Because, you know, we've been watching that storm coming across northwest Tuscaloosa County. There's Highway 171. That's Highway 43, runs through Samantha. We got that other storm that had that kink in the line we were watching for a while, and looked like it could potentially rotate, but we didn't see any strong evidence of rotation with that. So I'll tell you what, let's put on reflectivity. Go ahead, Brianna.
Yes, it looks like the National Weather Service has expired the tornado warning for Jefferson, Alabama as of right now.
Yeah. So they expired Jefferson since the storm's moving out of Jefferson, but they still got St. Clair.
From what I understand, yes. I haven't updated it, but so far, yes, a tornado warning still for St. Clair County.
All right, so if you are just now joining us, it's coming up on 11:15 now. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. I've got Brianna Duncan in the Weather Center as well. And we continue to watch this situation with the possibility of a tornado that could still be down that's moving into St. Clair County. I want to show you this. We got numerous severe thunderstorm warnings now back into Mississippi, or several severe thunderstorm warnings from West Alabama into East Mississippi, with the potential for damaging straight line winds with some of these storms that we are carefully watching. This is from Brianna and Tuscaloosa. We're looking off towards those storms that are going to be coming up on the Tuscaloosa area in the next hour or so. And again, what you're looking at, this is from the stadium. We're looking off towards the northwest direction. So again, this is off towards, in fact, that's the strip from University of Alabama campus on University Boulevard there. And we're looking back off towards the northwest. And again, you see some of that lightning there, some of those stronger storms. Also, that severe storm in Pickens County is going to be moving eventually into Tuscaloosa County if it does continue to hold together. Temperature 72 in Tuscaloosa. It is warm. It is muggy. We got a lot of moisture feeding into these storms, and some of these storms have grown quite intense. In fact, quite a bit of lightning being shown there from that camera perspective. So again, we've got this severe thunderstorm warning in Pickens County. We've got an intense storm just northwest of Samantha in northwest Tuscaloosa County up on 43 and 171 near the Fayette County line there. We got two additional severe storms, one just south of Jackson, one just west of Meridian. These are severe thunderstorm warnings as well. But we have one tornado warning.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The National Weather Service has issued that tornado warning for St. Clair, extended it till 11:30, and reported a severe thunderstorm capable of producing that tornado located over Margaret near Odenville, moving east at 45 miles per hour.
All right, so they have changed their wording on that, which makes sense based off the couplet. It's not as impressive as it was earlier. So they are now saying radar indicated tornado rather than a confirmed violent tornado like we saw earlier over Fultondale. Again, that was in Jefferson County. This thing is now totally into St. Clair County. So let me zoom you into that so you can see a little better perspective of this thing. If you are in Odenville or Asheville, you need to be in a safe place now. The possible tornado, as Brianna mentions, right over Margaret now, the little community of Margaret there. There's Odenville. Springville sits right there. That's the Interstate 59. So the area rotation has crossed I-59 now and continues to move off towards the east and northeast. And Brianna, what was the speed on that tornado? Moving east, yes, sir, at 45 miles per hour. Okay, so we got an east moving, a possible tornado about 45 miles an hour. But again, I will say this, the couplet has come down, but keep in mind, we still need you in a safe place if you're in St. Clair County from Margaret over towards Odenville, Springville to Asheville, basically the Interstate 59 corridor and areas just east of that, as there's still that potential there could be a tornado that could redevelop if it's not still down. Let's look at the debris signature. And I don't see anything there, so that's good. We've gone a few scans now. We don't see debris being lofted. Doesn't mean it's not a tornado down, but if it is one down, most likely at this point it's going to be a weak tornado based off the fact that we don't see debris being lofted. There could be something down, understand that, but again, we don't see that tight correlation coefficient dropout like we saw in Jefferson County. Let me put on the reflectivity. And again, your potential tornado is going to be right there by Margaret. It's going to be a close call for Odenville. You know, it's interesting that Odenville is not in the tornado warning polygon. I would think that based off this thing's moving more east, it would rather, Odenville, I'd rather you be in a safe place as the potential is there for tornadoes still down. Let me pan out, tell you what, let me zoom out just a bit so you can see a wider perspective of this thing. And this is the storm itself. This is the storm that produced the damaging tornado in Jefferson County. Again, the storm, the structure has really decreased in the past 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. So hopefully this trend will continue. But again, this thing spun up so fast in Jefferson County. We just want you to take it serious, do something about it. If you're in the tornado warning polygon, do something about it. Go to that safe place. This storm has a history of producing a large tornado right over Fultondale, right there. When it crossed I-65, it produced a large tornado, crossed Highway 75, came over Center Point and Clay. And now the possible tornado, we dropped the wording back down to possible tornado. This isn't confirmed. This is a possible tornado. We dropped it down to that based off the fact that the rotation's weakened just a bit and the reflectivity is not as impressive as it once was. And I tell you what, while we do that, let's go back over to West Alabama and show you what we've got there. Because I know we have other storms out there. We've got a severe storm coming across Pickens County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning. We do have several severe thunderstorm warnings back in Mississippi. And this line continues, this broken line of storms continues to work off to the southeast. And again, it's about 11:15 now. If you are just now joining us, Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, we've got Brianna, Duncan in the Weather Center as well. We continue to watch this severe weather situation across Alabama. Again, if you're in Tuscaloosa, there's no current problems for you. All the activity is north of town towards Samantha and then west of town back towards Carrollton and Aliceville. And again, these storms are tracking off towards the east at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. And we do maintain that severe thunderstorm warning for, again, Pickens County, including Carrollton and Aliceville. That's where there's some strong wind potential with that. And also there's the possibility of some hail with that, I would say, based off what we're looking at with radar. So, again, just checking some things over here. And looks like, yeah, if you're, I've got a lot of folks asking about Tuscaloosa and Northport. If you're in Tuscaloosa, there are no current problems for you, but there are some severe storms west of you, and these are moving generally off towards kind of the east-northeast like that. But this severe storm near Carrollton and Aliceville may clip Northport. But again, there's more storms off to the west that could clip Tuscaloosa. It's going to take a little time. This is a slowly sinking southward line of thunderstorms, of strong to severe thunderstorms. So again, if you're in Samantha now, I would expect some pretty gusty winds with this. We're not seeing indications of a tornado, but there could be some hail with this coming into Samantha now. This Highway 43, and then this will cross Highway 69, somewhere close to Windham Springs, where the core of this storm will cross. And again, that's Lake Tuscaloosa right there for reference. And again, Northside High School sits about there. And we got County High down here. And this is going to be just north of County High towards the north side. And again, this goes all the way to the Fayette County line on 43 for that potential for some stronger winds. But again, now Tuscaloosa County, technically, there's not a warning for you. But based off the history of these storms and the structure of this one, I would expect the possibility of some strong, damaging straight-line wind potential, maybe up to 55 miles an hour or so with that storm. We'll put on the velocity, and let's just look at this together. And again, fortunately, I don't see any sign of rotation. This is straight-line winds coming through Samantha, so we're not seeing any sign of rotating winds. So we're not seeing any sign of a tornado, but there could be a few trees come down in Samantha and Windham Springs in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And even the storm down in Pickens County, we're not really seeing any sign of rotation at all. This looks more like straight line winds and not rotating winds, but keep in mind, straight line winds can knock trees down and knock power outages. So I do want to remind you this. We haven't talked about this in a while. We are also on Facebook Live. If you go over to the WVUA 23 Facebook page, if you lose power, you can watch us there. We've got we're streaming nonstop on Facebook Live, and obviously we're on TV too. So if you lose power, if you get a heavy storm at your house, you get the rain fade, you can always watch us on there and on TV. So if you lose your TV signal or if you have cable, if you lose power, we're on Facebook Live too. Search WVUA 23. All right, so again, strong straight line wind potential moving into Tuscaloosa County from Pickens County. Let me put on the warning and show you that. And while I do that, Brianna, Duncan in the Weather Center. Brianna, any kind of reports coming out of Jefferson County?
Richard, I can't confirm if this is in Jefferson County, but there is structure damage on the 500 block of Sun Hill Road. And then there's also an aerial flood advisory from the National Weather Service for counties including Blount, Fayette, Jefferson, Lamar, Pickens, St. Clair, Tuscaloosa, and Walker. And then we just now got a report that the Comfort Suites in Fultondale has been evacuated due to a gas leak. So the damage reports we've gotten within the past few minutes is that 500 block on Sun Hill Road with some structure damage, and that report from Comfort Suites in Fultondale that has been evacuated due to that gas leak.
You know, Brianna, it really sounds like a serious situation that moved through that part of Jefferson County around
Yes.
Fultondale. Certainly a damaging tornado. This thing spun up so fast. It was incredible. It went from, you know, just looked like straight line wind potential to this thing wrapped up and obviously produced a tornado there in the Fultondale area. So, again, we still have a tornado watch in effect for most of central Alabama. What you're looking at on the screen, that is a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens County, as do have the possibility for strong straight line winds coming through Carrollton now. There is Gordo there. You're in that Polygon for the possibility of strong damaging straight line winds. But again, that's a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning. Still want to treat it serious. You know, I think we often kind of get complacent when it comes to severe thunderstorm warnings. We don't take them as serious as we should. So again, if you're in that Polygon for severe thunderstorm warning, you could see trees and power lines come down. And if a tree comes down in your home, that's a problem. So again, if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning Polygon, again, treat it serious. But there's your tornado watch in effect for a good chunk of central Alabama, basically along the Interstate 59 corridor in areas just north and south of that line there. Marengo County, Perry, Chilton, Coosa, and Clay, you're not under that tornado watch. And Brianna, did you tell me earlier that tornado watch was extended, or is it still 1 a.m.?
It looks like, let me see if I can go back to the last time they updated that. It's been a minute since we've been focused on all these warnings. Let's see, tornado watch extended to 1 a.m. Yes, Richard, extended to 1 a.m.
Okay, yeah, I think that grabbed a couple more East Alabama counties, so they just extended the area to it to 1. So here's the tornado warning. This does continue for St. Clair County. This is now a small tornado warning Polygon based off the fact the tornado is moving forwards and it's kind of running out of room there. So the National Weather Service kind of trimming down that tornado warning Polygon just a bit, but that's it. So that's Interstate 59 there. We got a Springville in St. Clair Springs for the possibility this thing could be producing a tornado. Let me pan this down just a bit so you can see a wider perspective. Again, there it is right there, the possibility of a tornado near Margaret, and that's going to be just north of Odenville. But again, if you're in Odenville, I'd still be in a safe place just to be safe, especially if you live on the north side of town. Let's look at the velocity with this thing and just see what we've got. All right, so your possible tornado is going to be basically following Highway 411 into the junction of Highway 231. So there's Asheville. Your possible tornado is going to be right there. So it does look like it's now kind of northeast of Odenville. So if you're in Odenville, you can resume your normal activities. You can go to bed. This storm is now northeast of you. Your possible tornado is going to be coming up on Asheville. And Brianna, that tornado warning expires at 11:30. So we technically have 5 more minutes. Is that right? Does that warning go out at 11:30?
Yes, Richard, and so far no updates on that. And I will say with Odenville, it was mentioned in the tornado warning from the National Weather Service, so definitely Odenville should take precaution. Yeah, so I think they were on the southern end of that thing. So yeah, if you're on the north side in Odenville, really, if you were in Odenville, we needed you in that safe place. The rotation continues to move northeast, basically along Highway 411. There's the Interstate 59 corridor, so it's really paralleling 411 and I-59. As it is moving off towards the northeast like that. Let's look at the reflectivity, just kind of watch this together. And again, it's really messy now. It's kind of gotten more disorganized compared to how it looked just a little bit earlier. Back when it was in Jefferson County, this thing was impressive. It was an impressive supercell thunderstorm, but we really lost a lot of that structure. So we'll see if the National Weather Service will continue that tornado warning or allow it to go. But again, this is one of those storms we need to keep a careful eye on based off the history of this thing and what it did back in Jefferson County. And I tell you what, while this thing is kind of weakening just a bit, let's go back out to home view and show you everybody out there across central Alabama. Because again, I understand there's a lot of people watching from other parts of Alabama. Don't want to leave anybody out. It is coming up on 11:30. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott here, Brianna, Duncan in the Weather Center. And this is the deal. We got this line of broken thunderstorms, basically individual thunderstorms within a linear feature that's slowly sinking southeast across central Alabama. We had a very dangerous tornado situation moved across Jefferson County. That storm is in St. Clair County, and it's a lot weaker at this point. But we maintained some stronger storms in West Alabama. We got a severe thunderstorm warning in Pickens County. That storm looks like it is weakening just a bit, but we'll watch it carefully. But again, for areas like Talladega, over towards Helena, Maylene, back towards Brent, Centerville, Demopolis, Linden, currently no problems for you, but we do have some severe storms back in Mississippi, and those will work into west and deeper into central Alabama as we go through the night. So these storms are going to continue to press off towards the east and southeast. The whole line itself, while the storms are moving more east, the line itself is slowly sagging off to the south. So we'll continue to watch these storms carefully. All right, let's go into Tuscaloosa County and show you this. Again, we've got a kink in the line here that's right over Samantha. We're watching carefully. This is more of a straight line wind potential coming up on Wyndham Springs. We do need to watch that storm, but again, this is just north of Samantha, generally near and north of Samantha, crossing 43 and 69 as we speak. And okay, looks like, go ahead, Brianna. Yes, Richard, it looks like the tornado warning for St. Clair County has been expired, as well as the National Weather Service has canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens. So right on time, right at 11:30, they expired that tornado warning for St. Clair County, as well as Pickens is no longer in that severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh, they did? Okay, so they canceled Pickens. All right, so we technically have no warnings. That's nice. Hopefully these storms will behave the rest of the night. We've obviously had some serious problems in Jefferson County. Looks like we had some serious damage from a violent tornado that touched down. And, you know, this thing really spun down quick, and it did a lot of damage. It looks like we're getting some of those reports in. So that's Highway 43 there through Samantha. I'm just showing you this storm here for reference. It is an intense thunderstorm. It's not classified as severe. Since we have no warnings, let me go back out to wide view. And again, this is going to update on our computer, but just to confirm, Brianna, there's no longer a tornado warning for St. Clair County, and there's no longer severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens.
Correct, Richard.
Okay.
Tornado warning has been expired for St. Clair County.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Pickens is good?
Yes, sir. Pickens is good as well. The severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled.
All right, so that's good news. So far, again, we have no warnings in our coverage area. We're continuing to watch these storms that do slowly drift south and east across our local area. But again, these storms have been pretty intense. Let me show you this. This is from Brian Denny in Tuscaloosa. And I'll tell you what, let me come over here and move this camera around just a bit so you can see what we are watching. This thing is producing an incredible amount of lightning, this storm over Samantha. So again, what you're looking at, and understand there's no tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County, there's no severe thunderstorm warning, but this is an intense storm that is moving through. And, you know, it's so interesting, Brianna, the fact this storm that moved into Jefferson County changed so fast.
It was a shock, and it was definitely fast. That's why it's important to stay on your feet and be aware and, you know, always get in that safe place early before it hits your area.
Yeah, and you know, we had a tornado watch, you know, and conditions are favorable for a tornado tonight. They're not overly conducive for tornadoes, but we had that one that spun down, and this thing meant business in Jefferson County. So, you know, it can happen. There's the threat. We have at least one tornado touchdown. Most likely that's the only tornado we've had tonight so far. And hopefully that will be it. We don't have any additional warnings. You're looking live from Brianna. I just want to show you this. This is the storms that are north of Tuscaloosa. We've had a tremendous amount of lightning we could see from Brianna in Tuscaloosa. I'm kind of zooming into some of these storms. See off in the distance there. Again, what you're looking at is from the stadium over towards Samantha, where we have these intense storms. And these things are going to produce some gusty winds. Look, most people tonight are going to deal with rain, lightning, gusty winds, and that's it. And, you know, not everybody's going to have a tornado. We tell people this all the time. Not everybody's going to have a tornado. It can be a day where we have 20 tornadoes in our state, and you just have rain at your house. You know, just because there's a tornado threat doesn't mean that you are going to have a tornado at your house. But the potential is there. And, you know, Brianna, we always tell people this, it only takes one tornado to be a threat to your life and property.
Absolutely. I think today was the perfect, unfortunate example of that in Jefferson and St. Clair County.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this was a perfect example of how it only takes one. And you put one tornado in a bad spot where there's a lot of people and you have problems. Now, we don't have any reports of injuries that we're aware of. Hopefully that will continue, but we certainly can't guarantee that based off what could have been the size of this thing. This looked like a big tornado that came down in Fultondale area, back towards Center Point in Jefferson County. What you're looking at, this is from Brianna and Tuscaloosa. We're looking north from the stadium, and you can see the heavier storms just north of town. But again, these are not classified as severe. We'll go over to our radar and show you this. A lot of lightning being produced by these storms that continue to move off towards the east and northeast direction. So again, if you are north of Northport up on Lake Tuscaloosa, we've got certainly a stronger storm up there. I'm just reading an alert we had. They're canceling part of the tornado watch back in Mississippi as this threat does move eastward pretty quickly now across Alabama. So for Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, it is not over yet. We still have these stronger storms that are moving across our local coverage area. And look, here's the deal. We're not trying to frighten anybody tonight. Understand this is not a night where we have a lot of tornadoes across the state. As Brianna and I talked about, it only takes one tornado. We've had one touchdown, we know, in Jefferson County. And it was a bad tornado. This thing really meant business as it touched down and did a lot of damage near Fultondale and Center Point, as well in Jefferson County. But again, this is a night where we could have a tornado or two. There could be another tornado touchdown. We can't guarantee that it's over because we're still in a threat of that possibility. But once this line clears your area, the risk of anything severe comes to an end. That's it. So once this line clears your area, you're going to be good. But with this line, there's going to be a lot of lightning. There's going to be strong gusty winds. And then that's it. It's going to pass on through. If there's a tornado develop in this line, we're going to find it. We're going to let you know about it and give you that warning you need. But right now, we have no active warnings in our coverage area. I do want to show you this. And Brianna, keep a close eye on the National Weather Service. This is a storm over North Tuscaloosa County. It's intense, so we need to watch it. But so far...
Yes, Richard, I know the storm over Tuscaloosa is being watched right now by the National Weather Service, but I do have a damage report. The Hampton Inn off of the I-65 exit had the roof blown off. It has massive damage, and that is, again, off the I-65 exit where the Hampton Inn had its roof blown off.
Yeah, so we continue to get those damage reports in. Just not something we want to see, but we know we knew it was there. It was very obvious there's a tornado touchdown up that way in Jefferson County. Certainly hate to see the damage reports. Hopefully we can get through this without any injuries or fatalities. But you know, it's part of dealing with tornadoes in Alabama. You're going to have that threat for life and property when these things do happen. And we just hope everybody did the right thing. They went to their shelter and took this tornado serious. So we knew there was the possibility of a tornado today. We had the tornado watch issued earlier this afternoon, I think around 5 o'clock or so. So we knew the potential was there, and we just hope you do something. If there's a tornado in your area, we hope you do something. Don't be complacent. I know we get so many tornado warnings and nothing happens and you're fine. It just rains at your house. But please understand, it only takes one. That one tornado in your area when you think nothing's going to happen, and that's it. So just take these things serious. We're just asking you, just please do that for us. Take them serious. So again, Tuscaloosa County, we're zoomed into that. We got intense thunderstorms, and we're watching this thing carefully for damaging wind potential. In fact, if you're really from about County High up Highway 43 towards Samantha, and if you're up Highway 69 from Tierce Patton Road, or really from the Lake Tuscaloosa Bridge back to the north, we could have some pretty strong winds with this. So I'll tell you what, let's zoom into this and kind of watch it carefully. Let's make sure there's no rotation, but there could be some hail in here too. That's the north end of Lake Tuscaloosa where North River feeds into the lake. And again, right there, and there's Lake Tuscaloosa. The Lake Tuscaloosa Dam is down there. And the northern end of this, the weather's certainly rough in terms of stronger storms and heavy rainfall and the possibility of strong damaging wind potential, but there's no active warning with that. But let's look at it. Again, Brianna, I don't see any sign of rotation with that. This looks like all straight line winds, so that's good.
Yes, that is one thing they noted, just the straight line winds. I think as of right now, it's not quite an area for concern, but just keeping a close eye as those damaging straight line winds can be damaging, can be a threat.
Yeah, we're talking about fallen trees and power lines. That can be a problem. So there could be trees come down with some of these storms. But again, the National Weather Service, they haven't triggered a severe thunderstorm warning for that. But if you are north of Northport, it looks like now moving into Lake Tuscaloosa, the north end of Lake Tuscaloosa, the possibility of strong straight line winds that could bring some trees down, some power lines down. And just a heads up, if you're driving tonight and you come into one of these storms, I would pull over, let it pass by. It's dark. It's almost midnight now. And if you're driving down especially a county road where it's dark and you can't really see very well, you might come across a falling tree that fell over the road. And in fact, that happened to me last year. I was driving down a road and came across a tree, and I had to hit the brakes pretty hard. And in fact, Brianna, you hit a tree after Hurricane Zeta.
Yes, Richard, I did. I was
Alabama.
driving home, yes, and went right through it. So definitely be careful. It's better to be safe than sorry. Take it from someone who's done it. Yeah,
and a tree that had fallen across the road, Brianna, and I remember you telling me about that after Hurricane Zeta had passed through central Alabama. And, you know, it's late at night. It's hard to see a tree that may be laying over the road, and just so please be careful tonight if you're going to be driving. There's not a widespread wind damage issue. Just understand there could be a few trees down here or there. So while there is a limited threat for that, it's dark and it's hard to see that. So just we're trying to help you out on that. All right, so let's look at the reflectivity again. Just kind of look at this storm carefully. That is moving north of Tuscaloosa. We're going to put on Birmingham's radar. And again, there's Northport, there's the city of Tuscaloosa, that's the Black Warrior River down there, that's Holt Lake. And again, from Wyndham Springs down Highway 69, heavy rain falling to about the Lake Tuscaloosa Bridge, and then on 43 down to about County High. And that's where the heavy rain stops. But this whole thing is moving off towards the east. So eventually Tuscaloosa and Northport's going to get heavy rain out of this as this does continue to move in that direction. So let me take you to a wide view, show everybody out there. Still watching that little kink in the line over Wyndham Springs. Again, there's no sign of rotation, but there may be some stronger straight line winds that develop out of that. So again, we have no warnings across our local area. We still have a tornado watch basically near that I-59 corridor. That is until 1 a.m. May see that extended based off of trends. Not so sure that will happen, but we'll have to see what the storms do in the next 30 minutes or so. but based off of what we're looking at more of a straight line wind issue rather than a tornado issue. But again, that could change. Let's go back over that storm. Tell you what, let's look at that storm in St. Clair County and make sure it is behaving. It is not trying to ramp back up, because the Jefferson County, when it changed so fast, looks like this thing, based off reflectivity, not much there, some strong wind potential. But let's look at the velocity. Let's look at the rotation and just make sure this thing is not trying to do anything here. Yeah, I don't see any sign of rotation, so that's good news. So St. Clair County, again, the tornado warning has expired. There's no sign of rotation there, but there could be some strong gusty winds with this storm. And this is the same storm that produced the Jefferson County tornado. Let's zoom out. I want to show you the reports. Tell you what, I'm going to put the reports on. And let's zoom out to the wide view and show you what has happened so far. And again, across most of Alabama, it's just rained and some lightning, thunder, some gusty winds. We haven't had no widespread damage issues, which was expected. We didn't think this would be a big outbreak of damaging winds or tornadoes, but we had that one tornado touchdown in about the worst spot where there's a lot of people. You know, if this tornado were to touch down over the Talladega National Forest or Bankhead Forest, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. But this thing touched down in a spot where there's a lot of people, and I'm just afraid we're not going to get through this that tornado without any injury reports, just based off what we're seeing here from that. So let's go into that. I want to show you what has happened there in Jefferson County. And again, we did have that hail report near Miller Steam Plant on the Walker-Jefferson County line. So again, here's that report. Let's pull it up on air for you. And this thing touched down right over Fultondale. So this is the report from the National Weather Service. So this was at 10:43. Because, Brianna, we went on air at, 10:30, right after the news ended. So we went on for this. Mm-hmm. And we went from a tornado warning to a tornado confirmed within, 5 minutes?
Yes, it felt like less than that, but yes.
Yeah, it was quick. And again, 10:43 is the time of this report. Several reports of down power lines, structural damage throughout Fultondale. And again, we had the TDS. What that means is the TDS, that is a tornado debris signature. All right, so we saw the debris in the air. We saw that on our radar product, on the correlation coefficient. We saw the incredible couplet. I mean, this thing was unbelievable in terms of rotating winds. One of the strongest couplets I've seen in a long time. In fact, you have to go back to maybe the Aliceville tornado or some of the big tornadoes back in 2011 to see the rotation that strong with that tornado. Not saying it was a violent tornado quite that magnitude, but this could have easily been an EF2, EF3 type of tornado based off what we saw. Now, tomorrow the National Weather Service is going to send a survey crew out. They're going to look at that damage, and they're going to tell us how strong it was. They've got experts to look at the damage. They know what structures do inside of a tornado, and they'll tell us that. So tomorrow night on the news by 5 o'clock, we should be able to tell you how strong the tornado was that moved into Jefferson County. Brianna, any information coming from the Weather Service? Any concerned areas they're looking at?
Richard, so far, none yet. I do see some people on live, though. Someone just wanted an update on Walker County and just wanted to answer some questions. The Hampton Inn that was affected was off the I-65 exit. But other than that, maybe just some people wanting some updates on their area.
All right, tell you what, well, let's do that. Brianna, you're asking about Walker County, and let's do that. Since we don't have any active warnings, let's go to different areas and talk about it. So we're going to talk about Walker County. Let's go into that storm and tell you what, I'm just going to pan over there. So what you're looking at is Jefferson County, where things are much more quiet in Jefferson County. Let me clear that off and pan you back off towards the west into Walker. And any part of Walker County, Brianna, they were asking about?
Not particularly, no.
All right,
no,
so
Jim.
Again, the issues in Walker County, this is all to the southeast of Jasper, or south of Jasper, really from about Oakman to Parrish. Now, this is not a severe storm. but it is an intense storm that could produce some gusty winds. There's going to be a tremendous amount of lightning. But I will say this down here, this kink in the line that's basically coming up the Black Warrior River, coming towards a little shoal there. It's going to be basically the intersect of southern Walker County, northwest Jefferson County, northeast Tuscaloosa County. There could be some damaging straight line wind potential out of that. That little kink in the line looks awfully suspicious. So let's look at the velocity and see what we've got. And I do not see any sign of rotation with that. So again, if you're in southern Walker County, I don't see any sign of rotation. Now, there could be some strong straight line wind potential out of that, but again, no sign of a tornado right now. But that storm sure looks awfully suspicious in terms of that little kink in the line that's basically on the Black Warrior River where it intersects Jefferson County. But so far, so good with that. Brianna, you got anything?
It looks like Brody Wesson, he's reporting that injuries were reported in Fultondale from the Fultondale fire chief, potentially people trapped there.
Yeah, not surprised to see that based off of what we were looking at with some of the damage. So we may have some injuries. Now, that's unconfirmed right now, but we'll continue to get that information and pass along to you. But I hate to see that. We knew that possibility was there based off the magnitude of this tornado that moved through Fultondale. But, you know, it's just one of those things we have to deal with here in Alabama. We have tornadoes, and unfortunately, sometimes they can cause problems like that. So we'll continue to get that information from Jefferson County and pass along to you. Let me do put on radar, and let's just show everybody out there. Again, we got active thunderstorms moving across west and central Alabama. We got one that's basically on the north side of the Sipsey River, Pickens County, one that's just north of Tuscaloosa, one that's in southern Walker County, and then just some rain showers and thunder up here. In fact, the storm that produced the tornado is now just north of Anniston. It is much weaker. It just looks like basically just an area of rain and thunder. So let's go into these storms. Let's do a radar tour. And let me go down and I'll tell you what, let's start you on the far western part of the state and just kind of scan through these storms. Let's just look at them together, see what we got here. Again, if you are in Aliceville, got heavy rain. This is in southern Pickens County, very close to the interchange of the Sipsey River and the Tombigbee. All right. Let's go to the northeast of that. These storms are moving east. That's the Sipsey River that runs into west Tuscaloosa County. So if you're in Pioneer, heavy rain, Gina community, heavy rain coming in. For Tuscaloosa, let's look at that storm just north of town from our Brian Denny camera, and we'll go back to that in just a moment. Again, what you're looking at is that storm north of Tuscaloosa, and again, we're just looking for lightning flashes, any sign of any power flashes, anything like that. And again, there's the shelf cloud coming in there. That's going to be your strong gusty wind potential with that. But again, something we're watching very carefully. So again, north of Tuscaloosa, we've got some strong wind potential. This is going to be coming through the Lake Tuscaloosa area. Just watching things carefully. Looks like some strong winds up on Tierce Patton Road. And no doubt, this thing's really dropping some strong winds. It's coming through Northport now. We're looking live from Brian Denny. And Brianna, really interesting. I haven't seen a single lightning flash in just a few minutes. That's based off of these storms. That's kind of surprising. So again, we are looking north from Brian Denny in Tuscaloosa at some of the more intense storms that's coming into the Tuscaloosa area. It's going to be some strong wind potential with that. And you can even see the shelf cloud, the cloud base there, the shelf cloud, that's the leading edge of that thunderstorm. That's just northwest Tuscaloosa. There's a little lightning right there. But again, there's no sign of a tornado. This is going to be strong straight line wind potential. There's no warning, no severe thunderstorm warning. This is more of a strong gusty winds, maybe in excess of 30 to 40 miles an hour with that. So again, that's from Brian Denny and Tuscaloosa. Here's the storms coming in, and again, we'll zoom you into the Tuscaloosa Northport area. Very, very heavy rainfall occurring now. If you are on Lake Tuscaloosa, strong gusty winds coming through, getting some of those reports as well. and this stretches up the Black Warrior River just north of Old Lock 15 Road. Looks like the heavier core of that's on the Black Warrior River, where it goes into Jefferson County up towards the Little Shoal. Walker County, heavy rain falling now from Parrish to Cordova, Dora, high level, the Miller Steam Plant area. We got some heavy rain coming through, and also the potential for some strong gusty winds with that as well. But Brianna, I'm not seeing any sign of rotation with this, and that is a good thing to see.
No, Richard, and no concerns from the National Weather Service at this very second about any rotation, just watching pretty much the rain come through central Alabama with those strong gusty winds.
You know, this storm looks so interesting that's coming into basically on the very southern tip of Walker County on the Black Warrior River. This, you know, if you look at this storm without looking at the velocity, you'd think there's a tornado down with that coming up on a Little Shoal, but there's just no indication of that based off of velocity. But again, we're going to watch this thing very carefully. That little kink in the line there, that's coming up on Little Shoal on the Black Warrior River. Maxine, Toad Vine, areas like that, Short Creek. You're going to be dealing with a strong wind potential with that. Really seeing some strong wind potential coming through Northport now, and again, Lake Tuscaloosa. I'm watching, reason I'm off camera now, I'm watching our tower cam behind the scenes here, just keeping a very careful eye on this. Seeing any power flashes and seeing evidence of strong damaging wind potential with this, but this could be coming through Tuscaloosa shortly, but Northport dealing with that right now. Go back over to radar. This is out of Birmingham. And again, we've got heavy rain coming in to Aliceville dealing with this, the Sipsey River. Heavy rain falling there, also some lightning. In fact, let's put on the lightning display and just kind of look at this together. And yeah, you can see quite a bit of lightning out of this activity, this line that's coming on through. This stretches all the way up into northeast Alabama. A lot of lightning being produced by this north of Jacksonville. North of Anniston, also dealing with that, and center up on Weiss Lake, some lightning as well. So go back over to radar. This is out of Birmingham. And I tell you what, we're starting to see a little more lightning here in Tuscaloosa to the north of town. And again, we're looking off towards that strong thunderstorm that's approaching the city of Tuscaloosa and Northport. Here's the leading edge of that gust front that's coming into the Tuscaloosa area now from the west. And again, we're not looking for a tornado. What we're looking for is any sign of power flashes from strong straight line winds. I do not see any evidence of a tornado with this. Looks like a gust front with strong wind potential coming into the Tuscaloosa area as well as Northport. And I tell you what, while we look at this, Brianna, anything from Facebook Live, I do want to remind you that we are on Facebook Live, and we're just kind of checking questions and comments while we don't have any active warnings right now.
Not quite, Richard. We had some people asking about the Tuscaloosa area, but of course you just covered that. We have someone wondering about Coker, about maybe any updates on Coker.
Yeah, the Coker area is dealing with this line too. Let me go back over to radar and show you that this is pretty much coming through Coker now, but it's not going to last long. If you're in Coker, this threat's going to be east of you within a matter of 10 minutes. But again, this is coming up on Tuscaloosa and Northport now. Heavy rain, strong gusty winds. Again, there's no immediate threat. In fact, I would say most likely there's not going to be a tornado with this based off what we're seeing. This looks like gust front driven rain and thunder. So most everybody out there, you're going to have heavy rainfall, strong gusty winds, but we're just not seeing much of an issue of rotation now. But that could change. You know, this could change easily. So again, while we're not seeing much of a potential for a tornado now, we could still see some strong straight line winds coming through the Tuscaloosa area. But so far, there are no warnings. And that's a good thing. So we don't have any warnings in our coverage area. I just want to hop on here for a while after after that tornado warning expired. Just want to stay on for a little while and show you what's coming through. This is from Brian Denny in Tuscaloosa. Tell you what, let me see if I can zoom out. I'm all the way out. So here's that storm that's coming in to the Tuscaloosa area. Again, we're just seeing strong straight line wind potential. I don't see any evidence of rotation with any of this. but we're about to see some pretty strong winds come through here in Tuscaloosa and Northport. And we don't see any evidence of power flashes to introduce the chance for widespread damaging wind potential with this. I think if anything, damaging wind-wise is going to be isolated with this.
We have a few people asking on Facebook Live about an update for Samantha.
Yeah, Samantha, you're good now. This has gone past you. Let me show you that on radar. All right, it's in the process of leaving your area now. So if you're east of Samantha, you're going to be dealing with this for the next 5 to 10 minutes, but the severe weather threat's over for Samantha, that area like that. But again, if you're on Highway 69 near the Lake Tuscaloosa Bridge and points east towards the Black Warrior River in Holt Lake, you'll continue to deal with this for the next 15 minutes or so, and then it's going to pass southeast to you. So yeah, Samantha area, you're going to be in the clear very, very shortly. So you're good there. All right, so again, we've got showers and thunderstorms moving eastward across Alabama. We haven't done this in a while. Let's look at the watch warning map. And again, here's where your tornado watch is, and this continues until 1 a.m. And no word from the Weather Service if they are going to extend that. And I do see where the National Weather Service has canceled the tornado watch for Coleman County. That's going to pop up on our screen in just a moment. So again, I'm kind of hanging out behind the scenes just for a moment and watching this Tuscaloosa camera as we have these strong wind gusts coming into the area now. But again, there's no evidence of a tornado with this. So if you're in the Tuscaloosa Northport area, there's going to be some strong winds that come through with this heavy rainfall, but there's no indication of a tornado. So that's good. Hopefully that trend will continue, but that's what's coming in now. All right, so let me just show you this. This is a wide perspective of our local coverage area. We got, again, a tornado watch in effect until 1 a.m. for most of central Alabama. That is generally south of Coleman. Jasper points south, Fayette points south. But I'll tell you this, once this line passes through you, it's over. Your risk of severe weather has come to an end. So once this line passes on, so we really give an all clear for Walker County, Fayette, and really Pickens County in terms of a tornado risk. Anything that's now southeast of there where that possibility is. So you see this with a line of storms now that is moving out of Walker County, moving through central Tuscaloosa County, moving through southern Pickens County. This line itself continues to move off towards the southeast. It's going to move out of here over the next few hours. But again, I would say by 1 a.m. for the metros of Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, this line should be south of you. So again, by around 1 a.m., it should be pretty much wrapping up. So what we'll do, we're going to stay on just for a few more minutes. It's coming up on midnight now, so it is almost officially Tuesday morning. And a good morning to you, Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, along with Brianna Duncan. We continue to watch this situation where we had one tornado touchdown tonight. That was in Jefferson County near Fultondale. We had some serious damage out of that, and we'll continue to get that information to you, what has happened in Jefferson County. But the other storms have remained fairly tame, I will say that, but in terms of lightning and just kind of the roughness to a storm, it has been, these storms are rough, but there's no indication of any additional tornadoes at the moment. But we'll continue to watch these very carefully. So let's take you into a radar tour into West Alabama. And let's start you off in Pickens County, southern Pickens County. We'll just kind of go up the line, show you everybody that's dealing with this and what you're dealing with. Again, some strong wind potential out of this. These storms seem to be weakening just a bit. You know, Brianna, these storms are not as healthy as they were, what, about an hour ago?
Yes, Richard, they are definitely looking like they're weakened, and so far no concerns from the National Weather Service for these storms coming through, just that heavy rain and those stronger winds. But as of right now, no rotation concerns or any tornado severe weather concerns, just that rain, that lightning, and that wind.
Yeah, so basically just a stormy line, a rough line of storm. And so these are again, not classified as severe. But I can tell you now, if you're under one of these storms and the lightning's going and the wind picks up, it seems like it's severe where you are. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it is a severe storm. Keep in mind a severe thunderstorm warning. You got to have 1 inch hail or winds over 58 miles an hour to be considered severe. So if you got one of those criteria, then it's a severe thunderstorm. If it's a tornado down, you got a tornado warning. So again, right now we don't have any storms matching those criteria. So Pickens County, heavy rain coming through now. That is south of Carrollton and south of Gordo. Strong wind potential with that. For Tuscaloosa, the line of storms is coming up on the University of Alabama campus. It's passing through Northport now. This stretches up basically the Black Warrior River on Holt Lake. Old Lock 15 dealing with that as well. Jefferson County got more storms coming in, so people that were impacted by the Fultondale tornado, you got some storms coming in. These are not severe, but unfortunately, if there are rescue efforts ongoing, people searching structures to make sure everybody's okay, this is going to hamper that temporarily, but this is only going to last maybe 30 minutes at the most, and then it's going to move on, and that will be it. Once this moves on, you're done. So again, a heads up, if you know anybody in the Fultondale area, back towards Center Point, if they don't have power or way to reach us, give them a call, let them know there's another storm coming that's not severe, but it's going to cause some, it's going to hamper recovery efforts going on now. Any search and rescue going on, it's going to hamper that. So just a heads up, about 12 o'clock, 12:15 to 12:45, you're going to have problems there with some gusty winds and lightning. Off to the northeast, Blount County got heavy rain falling in the Indiana area. Hayden, Holly Pond, getting some of that. Steele, you're dealing with that. Gadsden, here's that storm that originally produced the Jefferson County tornadoes, now over Jacksonville and Piedmont. Again, this is coming up on the Jefferson County line, or excuse me, on the Georgia border. That's Georgia. This is Alabama. There's Center. Weiss Lake sits right there in Cherokee County. So again, you're dealing with this storm, what's left of that storm. Let's look at the velocity and just look at this together. Make sure we don't have any sign of anything rotating. And I tell you what, Brianna, this thing maybe trying to spin back up just north of Jacksonville. There's some rotation developing here. We'll need to watch carefully. And this will be coming up towards Piedmont. Anything from the National Weather Service on that, Brianna?
So far, no, nothing coming in from the National Weather Service for that, Richard. Just an aerial flood advisory for Etowah and St. Clair until 3 a.m. But other than that, nothing yet in concerns of that area and that potential rotation. But we will be keeping an eye on that.
You know, it's interesting. That's exactly what the velocity looked like just 20 minutes before it dropped a tornado. So again, it's kind of an eerie reminder there. So if you are in Piedmont and Jacksonville, I would keep a close eye on this thing just in case anything were to try to develop. It looks like we're looking at the velocity off of High Top just east of Huntsville, Alabama. So again, that's what you're looking at there. There's no official tornado warning for that. But again, it certainly looks like an interesting storm, to say the least. So let's go down the line and just make sure we don't see any evidence of anything that is rotating with the storms in West Alabama and Central Alabama. Let's go back into Jefferson County. Let's just look at this all together. Again, we got the line of stronger storms coming through western Jefferson County, coming up on places like Oak Grove and Concord and Hueytown and Maton right there, Gardendale, Fultondale, stronger storm coming in. Not classified as severe. And in Tuscaloosa County, again, got some strong gusty wind potential, but nothing in terms of a severe criteria. And I see no sign of rotation anywhere along this line. So that is fantastic news down here. Now, again, we need to carefully watch this storm to the north. We're going to watch it and see if we get any increase in the rotation that is over northern Calhoun County. So again, for Tuscaloosa, it looks like the line's kind of making a little break here. But again, you got some stronger storms coming in out of Pickens County as we speak. And I tell you what, let's take our tower cam in Tuscaloosa. This is from Bryant Denny, and there's some gusty winds coming in, but not really seeing a whole lot of strong wind potential out of that. What you're looking at is you're looking off towards the west from the stadium and towards the downtown area. You see some lightning off of the distance. That's that other part of the cell coming out of Pickens County. But again, there's no sign of anything severe with that. Kind of panning the skies here. It looks like, again, the stronger storm kind of dissipated as it came into the Tuscaloosa area. Let's look to the northeast of town. and you're looking kind of towards the backside of that shelf cloud where that's moving now east to Tuscaloosa. So what you're looking at, this is from Bryant Denny. We're looking northeast from the stadium. You got Reese Fiber Hall down at the bottom of your screen. And again, you got heavy rain just north and east of town. And north of town, we'll go back over to radar and show you that. Again, so far, there is no indication of rotation with this activity. It looks like just some gusty wind potential and heavy rainfall that's coming into western Tuscaloosa County. A little radar loop on this, see where this is going. This is all moving generally off towards the east and northeast, and the line itself is gradually sinking southward. So we'll continue to deal with that. Let me go off towards the northeast, and we'll put on Birmingham's radar. We're looking at Jefferson County. Again, serious damage reports out of Fultondale. Let's look at this storm. There's a storm coming in now. Let me backtrack a little bit. Let me show you the storm that produced this tornado. It was this one right here. Really spun down. I'll put on the velocity. And let's go back to this and just show you what happened. This thing dropped a tornado quick. In fact, there's the couplet. You see as it came through Forestdale, it began to spin up. That's when the National Weather Service originally issued the tornado warning. It's about 10:30, and this thing gained a tight couplet there right over Fultondale, dropped a serious tornado there, and then see how it just weakened as it moved towards center point, and then it just fizzled out to nothing after that. So no doubt we had a tornado touchdown there. And the damage reports continue to come in. And here's that same storm, Brianna. It's right here coming up towards Piedmont. And there's some evidence of rotation here. You know, this is something we need to watch. This is not going to be in our coverage area much longer, but it's something we need to watch. So if you're in Piedmont, just a heads up for you, I would be ready to take action if anything were to be issued. But right now, that has not happened. Put on high tops, reflectivity, and again, you see that storm coming into Piedmont now. So that's what we're looking at there. That's in northern portions of Calhoun County, also southern portions of Cherokee County, just south of Weiss Lake, dealing with that. Go back off towards the south and southwest, and let's just show you this. Again, we've got intense thunderstorms out there in West Alabama. There's no evidence of severe weather. These are just stronger storms that continue to move off towards the east and northeast. So what we're going to do, since we don't have any evidence of a tornado or a damaging wind issue, for Calhoun County and southern portions of Etowah County. So let's take you into that storm. We've got a brand new tornado warning just being issued now, and this includes Piedmont. We're just telling you if you're in Piedmont, you need to do something or watch this carefully. We got the potential for a tornado there. This is going to be for areas northeast of Jacksonville. There's Piedmont. There's Virgo right there. There's Pleasant Gap. All right, that's Highway 278 right there that runs into the Georgia state line. If you are in Piedmont, you need to be in a safe place now. And I tell you what, Brianna, what is the warning time on that and the speed?
Yes, Richard, the tornado warning is for Calhoun, Cherokee, and Claiborne until 12:45 a.m., moving east at 45 miles per hour.
Yeah, there it is right there. So again, this is Highway 21. If you're in Piedmont, you need to be in a safe place now, as there's the potential for a tornado with this. And understand, this is the same storm that produced the tornado back over Fultondale, so this thing could drop a tornado. This storm has a history of doing that. So again, if you are in Piedmont, you need to be in a safe place now, especially along the Highway 278 corridor, generally where Highway 21 meets Piedmont. That's where this potential tornado is right now. Weiss Lake is at the very top of your screen. Again, it is just after 12 o'clock. I'm Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Got Brianna Duncan here with us as well. And we got a brand new tornado warning that has been issued for northeast Calhoun County, southern portions of Cherokee County, and also northern portions of Claiborne County. So that potential for a tornado is there, and we don't have confirmation of one down, but the potential is certainly there with this. So let's put on the warning polygon. Let's just show you this. And there it is. Again, the very southern fringe of Cherokee County right there, Pleasant Gap, that's Highway 278. There's Piedmont, Highway 21 that runs into Piedmont. You're going to be under the gun. So what we need you to do is find a site-built structure, put as many windows between you and the outside as possible, and we'll continue to watch this situation and let you know about what's happening. So again, if you're in a mobile home, if you're in a car, get out of that, find a site-built structure, something that can protect you from flying debris or the possibility of a tornado there. We also got a Brianna, Duncan at the Weather Center. And Brianna, what you got?
So far, nothing yet other than the tornado warning for Calhoun, Cherokee, and Claiborne till 12:45. It's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Piedmont. That is moving east at 45 miles per hour. Again, that is until 12:45 a.m. Right now, it is 12:12, so about a little bit over 30 more minutes that warning is extended for now.
Yeah, this thing may move into Georgia before that. This thing's going to be moving, it's moving pretty quickly now. So again, this may be off into Georgia before that time. So again, we've got a possibility of a tornado near Piedmont right now. I do want to remind you that we are also on Facebook Live. We're streaming on Facebook Live. So if you search for WVUA 23, we are on there as well. So just ways that you can find that information. So again, tornado warning for far east Alabama. This is northeast portions of Calhoun County, southern portions of Cherokee County. This is going to be for Pleasant Gap. This is going to be the Highway 278 corridor. And then Piedmont, we need you in a safe place right now. This is going to be northeast of Jacksonville. There's no threat to the city of Jacksonville or Jacksonville State University down there. This is going to be northeast of you, up Highway 21. So again, the very northeastern part of Calhoun County, southern portion of Cherokee County, northern Claiborne County. That's what we're talking about for that potential for a tornado. Let me put on the Birmingham radar. And let me show you wide view just for a moment, because I know we got other people from other parts of Alabama watching, trying to figure this whole thing out. We got active thunderstorms over West Alabama and Central Alabama. Fortunately, there are no indications of this activity becoming severe down here from Birmingham west towards Tuscaloosa. There's no indication of this becoming severe. We've got the one tornado warning there. So let's take you into West Alabama just for a moment. I want to just show everybody out there who's dealing with these storms. And this whole thing is sinking southeast. So if you are in Tuscaloosa, we've got heavy rain coming in from the west side of town. Also places like Coker dealing with heavy rainfall. There's no evidence of severe weather. Romulus, Foster's, you're going to be dealing with this as well. That's the Black Warrior River that runs into Tuscaloosa. Heavy rain coming in right now, some lightning and thunder. Let's go to the northeast. Again, this is across the Black Warrior River northeast of Tuscaloosa. This is now the east side of Holt Lake. Again, some gusty winds with this coming that just came through Bull City. Sylvan Springs now. We got Hueytown, Bessemer, Pleasant Grove, Oak Grove, Forestdale. We're going to be dealing with some stronger wind potential with this, but this is going to be moving fast. Fultondale. Again, we had a damaging tornado hit Fultondale just earlier this evening, about 10:35, 10:45, when that tornado went through Fultondale. We got a strong gusty wind and a small line of storms coming your way. So get a heads up through Sun Valley as well. You're going to deal with this issue, but it's going to be brief, but it's going to pass through. There's no severe weather with that, but it could cause issues for any search and rescue ongoing. Let's go up the line here. This is Aniana, heavy rain falling there, or light to moderate rain falling just north of town. Reese City, heavy rainfall. This is over in Etowah County. There's Turkey Town there. All right, so let's go back into our tornado warning. This is the reason that we're back on the air now. We have a tornado warning that has been issued for northeastern portions of Calhoun County, southern portions of Cherokee County. It's put on the velocity out of High Top. And I tell you what, there's our velocity product. And there's evidence of rotation right on top of Piedmont. So we need you in a safe place now if you're in Piedmont in northeast Calhoun County. Again, there's Jacksonville down there. Go down Highway 21. There's no problems at all down there. This is northeast of you, right over Piedmont. And again, basically, this is going to be skirting the southern fringe of Cherokee County. Weiss Lake sits up here. There's Cedar Bluff at the top of your screen. And again, you see Sandy Springs there. I think this stays south of you. But if you are on 278, the possibility of a tornado is going to be tracking right along Highway 278. So the potential is there for tornado. Let me zoom back in just a tad. And we'll look at this together. So there's Piedmont right there. So the possible tornado is going to be right on top of Piedmont as we speak. So again, here's Cherokee County. Here's Calhoun. There's Virgo. All right, so there's Highway 278 right there that runs through the north side of Piedmont, and your possible tornadoes right on top of town as we speak. I do want to mention Brianna, Duncan in the Weather Center. Brianna, anything out of this in terms of reports, because it's an overpopulated area. If there's something down, we're going to know about it.
Richard, so far, no, just that tornado warning for Claiborne, Cherokee, and Calhoun. But so far, no reports. We understand that this is a populated area, but unfortunately, we don't have any more information other than that it's just a capable of producing a tornado located over Piedmont, and that is moving east at 45 miles per hour, and that tornado warning is until 12:45 a.m.
Yeah, so we got about another 30 minutes or so on that tornado warning there. I do want to mention too, just for a moment, because I know other people are asking about other parts of the state. This is Tuscaloosa, and we got some heavy rain coming in from the west side of town. See quite a bit of lightning out of that. Let me take you back towards the west. And again, this stronger storm is coming in, but this is not a severe thunderstorm. Just want to show you that. And Brianna, the wind has switched directions now. Tuscaloosa west-northwest. So again, that boundary has shifted into the Tuscaloosa area. So that's one good thing is that has reduced our severe weather risk here. As the boundary has moved south, the temperature is also dropping just a bit, now down to 66 here in Tuscaloosa. And it's not going to turn overly cold, by the way, until later this week. So tomorrow we're going to be back up to, actually today, later today, we're going to be back up to 70.
We do have an update, Richard. The National Weather Service continuing that tornado warning for Calhoun, Cherokee, and Claiborne until 12:45 a.m. That severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Pleasant Gap, near Piedmont, still moving east at 45 miles per hour. Again, that's till 12:45, located near Pleasant Gap, near Piedmont.
Yeah, so we still maintain that tornado warning there. So let's go into this storm. First off, if you are in Tuscaloosa and Northport, we got some pretty heavy rain coming through. Again, this is not severe. There's going to be some lightning and thunder, but this is all outflow boundary driven stuff. So we're not looking at potential for any tornado with that. But what we do think we'll see is some stronger winds potentially coming through the Tuscaloosa and Foster's area. Not seeing a whole lot on velocity, so that's good. But again, for the Birmingham area, let me switch radar sites over and go to Birmingham. Again, the area that was impacted by the tornado of Fultondale and Sun Valley, you're going to be dealing with this stronger storm coming in. This is not a severe storm, but this is going to hamper some issues for search and rescue ongoing in that part of Jefferson County. We'll go up the line there through Holly Springs and Steele. You're dealing with some rain and likely some lightning and thunder with that. And then we have the tornadic storm that is over in East Alabama. And looks like most of Calhoun County is out of the warning now. They just trimmed it back. You read that update, Brianna. Looks like most of that is now east of Piedmont. So let's look at the velocity with this. Okay, let's look at the velocity with this, and you'll work on that, Brianna. Looks like the couplets come down a little bit. That's past east of Piedmont now, but again, Pleasant Gap, that Highway 278 corridor, that's where we're talking about for still that potential for a tornado down, but this thing's going to be into Georgia in just a matter of moments, so it's not going to take long, and this thing's going to be over in Georgia. But if you're in far southern portions of Cherokee County, we're talking about Highway 278 generally in south. That's where the possibility of a tornado could be there with that. So again, we got a dangerous situation for the possibility of a tornado in East Alabama. as well. And this is going to be moving into Georgia in just a matter of moments. So let me go back over to West Alabama. Got a lot of folks asking about what's happening down there. For Tuscaloosa and Foster's, we got heavy rain coming through now. Look over at our camera. This is from Brian Denny. And again, we got stronger wind gusts coming through the Tuscaloosa area. And this continues to move through our area. So for Tuscaloosa and Northport, heavy rain coming in, some gusty wind potential, but I don't see any evidence of a tornado. In fact, the wind with this, while it will be gusty, we're not looking at an excess of 50 or 60 miles an hour. This will be more like 30, maybe 40 miles an hour with this stuff coming through the Tuscaloosa area, but we've seen a lot of lightning with this as evident from our Brian Denny camera as well. So again, we're just getting some information behind the scenes here. It certainly looks like quite a bit of damage coming from the Fultondale area. Yeah, we're looking at some of the damage kind of behind the scenes here, and it certainly looks like a lot of issues up there. We certainly hope everybody was okay with that. A tornado did touch down earlier this evening at around 10:45 is when that tornado was down over Fultondale. So, all right, so yeah, we're looking at reports of injuries and entrapment that continues in Jefferson County. According to the EMS dispatch there in Jefferson County and Fultondale, we continue to get reports of people injured and trapped in structures. Certainly looks like an awful situation that's happened there. What you're looking at is from Brian Denny and Tuscaloosa. And again, we got a storm that's coming into town now, and see the wind update, Brianna, now out of the west at 15 miles an hour. So we got some gusty winds. Those are sustained winds here in the Tuscaloosa area, so those continue to cause some problems. But again, so far so good in terms of we're not having any severe weather issues in West Alabama. All right, so let's go back over to radar. Let me take you back into that severe storm that is in our far northeastern county here. This is going to be in southern Cherokee County. This is pretty much out of Calhoun now. I'm going to put on our velocity display and let's just show you this together. Looks like the rotations really began to weaken a bit. So again, if you're in Pleasant Gap along Highway 278, we still need you in a safe place now for that possibility. There could still be a tornado down with that. And you're looking at the velocity. This is the wind speed inside this thing. We got a rotating wind still occurring here, but most likely, if there was a tornado down, it's probably lifted by now. But again, just as a least course of regret, if you were on Highway 278 in southern Cherokee County, let's stay in a safe place now. Let the storm pass on by, as this does still have the potential to drop a tornado. There is the Jefferson, I keep saying Jefferson County. This is the Georgia state line here, and this will be moving into Georgia in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and this will be out of Cherokee County. So again, Claiborne County, northern Claiborne County, southern Cherokee County. This is totally out of Calhoun now. If you are in Piedmont, you are okay. The risk of anything severe has passed east of you. There's no longer a threat in the Piedmont area. Put back on a Birmingham radar, show everybody out there, and in just a few moments we'll go back over to we'll go to break. It's coming up on 12:30, so let's just hang out here just for a moment and show you a wide view out there. Everybody that's dealing with the storms. We got this line of thunderstorms continues to push southeast now. Fortunately, all the warnings, Brianna, have been canceled back in Mississippi. I don't see any warnings back there, so that is an encouraging thing to see. There is the tornado watch. In fact, the watch has been discontinued back into Mississippi, Brianna, so that's good.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely almost a sigh of relief. Hopefully we'll continue to see these storms weaken and it only be that rain and that gusty wind and nothing more severe than that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll continue to watch radar trends over the next several hours. It looks like, yeah, we're getting a lot of reports of lightning and thunder. People are asking how long is this going to last in the Tuscaloosa Northport area, and this is not going to last more than about 30 minutes or so. Let me show you back over to radar, and you see the watch warning map. Technically still a tornado watch in effect until 1 a.m. We got that one tornado warning there for far southern tip of Cherokee County and that Highway 278 corridor that is now out of Calhoun County and moving on pretty quickly. And that's the latest situation on that. We got active rain and thunderstorms moving across to the Tuscaloosa, Northport area. Also the Birmingham area dealing with rain and thunderstorms. But again, the severe weather risk has pretty much come to an end with that. Let's go into West Alabama. A lot of questions about the Tuscaloosa, Northport area, and just show you that. Again, we've got some gusty wind potential with this, but really the storm is not overly intense. Based off what it looked like earlier, just looks like some heavier rain and maybe some strong gusty winds, and still some lightning out of this as well. But this storm is going to be out of the Northport, Tuscaloosa area most likely in the next 30 minutes or so, and then it's going to pass southeast of town. So again, a heads up if you are in Duncanville or Coling or Vance. You're going to have some gusty winds with this, also quite a bit of rainfall as well. Let's go up the line. We'll take a little tour here, and let's go into Jefferson County. Got some heavier rain coming through Pleasant Grove now, and Oak Grove, and Hueytown, Concord. This line of stronger storms coming on through. Gardendale, heavy rain potential there. And let's look at this storm coming across Jefferson County. Let's look at the velocity with this. Just make sure we don't have anything trying to sneak up on us there. Yeah, this all looks like strong straight line wind potential. And I say straight line wind potential, there's not even a severe thunderstorm warning, but there could be still some gusty winds at 40 miles an hour with this coming across Gardendale, approaching Clay and Trussville and Leeds. You're going to deal with that as well. And I tell you what, let's go back over to Reflectivity and take you back up the line here. And we'll go over to Birmingham. And again, the line of storms is coming right through downtown Birmingham now, up towards the Fultondale area, and also Gardendale, Trussville, Clay, Center Point dealing with that. In northern portions of St. Clair County, we've got Steele and Asheville dealing with some rain. Gadsden over in Etowah County dealing with that as well. And again, the tornado warning that is in effect still for Cherokee County. Looks like that storm is now in the process of moving out of Cherokee County into Georgia now. So again, the Highway 278 corridor that runs into Georgia still got the tornado warning in effect for you, but it is in the process of moving out as we speak. So again, we can give that to the Atlanta market, and it looks like this tornado storm is moving out of Alabama and into Georgia. We'll maintain technically that tornado warning for another 15 minutes. I would imagine the Weather Service could allow that to expire a bit earlier, considering this is in the process of moving out. Again, Brianna, Duncan in the Weather Center. Brianna, what you got over here? Anything?
Nothing from the National Weather Service, but just personally sitting back here watching our Bryant-Denny camera. The lightning in Tuscaloosa is absolutely almost what seems like constant. You can tell the wind is really high here in Tuscaloosa right now. Even some reports on our live lightning, really bad, and heavy rain in Northport and Tuscaloosa as well. Another report of bad lightning and thunder in Tuscaloosa. So it looks like we're getting